Hey YouTube, this is Mr. UFO here, the deck profile of a friend here. He's got 6 hams, so here we go.
Alright, start with 2 Kagamushas. I don't run 3 because 3 is a little cloggy. 2 is just actually perfect because in this format you don't really synchro as much, so...
Understandable.
3 Kageki, that's staple.
Why not just play 3 Elder and get the little Valors that are around?
I'm not really scared of Valors. Valor, I mean, didn't go ahead and Valor, but this deck can still special as long as there's like just one Samurai. It can still pop off almost.
Yeah, it's still easy. It's just...
Yeah. I mean, some people... The only time when people really run more than 1 or 2 Elders is if they run asceticisms up the wazoo.
Probably.
That's about it. 3 Kazans. That's pretty staple.
That's a staple. That's
yeah.
not that... Just special summon.
2 Grandmasters.
That's the staple.
Staple as well. I run 2 Elders.
Usually people would have it the other way around with 3 Elder and 2 or 1 Kigeki.
You can make that build, but it's... I mean, Elder's not much different from a Cyber Dragon, really.
Virtually, yeah.
So, I mean, some people will do it, some people won't. It's just up to them.
It's just if you win the dice roll or not.
Yeah.
You can just do it to them too.
Yeah. And plus, usually these are only good if you're going second. If you're going first, you want the Kaigeki.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's asceticism too.
yeah. 1 hand, just staple. Some people run 2, but I don't know why they run 2.
People will play Mizuho, so they can play asceticism with it.
Or that too. Yeah, I never even thought about that, but I don't run Mizuho on this one, or nor should I. On 1 Spirit, it's pretty much draw power when you equip it to Shein or...
It's Horn Phantom Beast.
Yeah, it's Horn Phantom Beast. And then 1 Great Shogun Shein. This is a good card. This tells Chamber to screw off.
Well, yeah, it's very just tech choice too.
Yeah. Well, I take it simply because of Chamber.
It hurts some heroes too.
Yeah. Alright, spell cards, Rhoda, and Smoke Signals. Just basic searches.
Searching, yeah.
1 Gateway.
That's self-explanatory.
1 Dojo.
Why not 2?
2 is just really overcrowding and stuff, and if you usually play 1, it either gets MSC'd or someone's just going to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Just no matter what. It's better just have 1. 2 Uniteds. I think 2 is pretty good as is, not 3. 3 might be a little over-consistent because when you're in a top deck scenario, you don't want to be top decking this. You want to be top decking like a monster or something else.
That's true because 6 ham can only last in the long haul.
Yeah, they can only last for so long before
they break.
Yeah, I only run 1 asceticism. I don't run 2. Like I said, synchro is not really all that good in this format, so it
seems very one-ofs.
Yeah. Book of Moon, 2 MSTs, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Reborn, all staples.
All virtually.
Yeah.
2 MST. Sounds basic. Yeah.
Alright, and for traps, 2 double-edged sword techniques. It's good at 2.
So if you were to drop the double edge, would they be 3? Make it to 3 asceticism?
You can. It's honestly up to the player on how they want to play, and it depends on what your opponent has and what you have. It just depends all on the game scenario.
Well, it makes me want to make another Natural Beast, so it works.
Yeah, well, some people play 2 Natural Beasts, some people play 1. It just, like I said, it just all depends on the player themselves.
And just tech choice.
1 Mirror Force. With the new format, you can actually bump up to 2. It doesn't really matter. Samurais just destroy the hell out of everything anyway.
Yeah,
so it doesn't really matter.
I think you probably want to worry about negation and anything, then it's just just protection. Cause
yeah, 2 Trenchals. That's pretty basic. 3 Phoenix Chains.
Valors.
This thing just locks down a lot of things.
Would you get scared against Gemini Pearl and Gaia Knight?
Yeah, that just He's talking about the game we played, and he brought out Gaia Knight, and he ran over my damn Shein.
Which
all I had was this down. I mean, yeah, but other than that, though, I mean, not many people even tech that. So.
Do you think Phoenix Chain will be better than Valor in September?
That's actually a tough call. Simply because it just depends. Because this is a permanent, to where Valor lasts at the end of the turn, so it just depends. Valor. The only time when this is good is when you're going together, is when you're hitting a monster that can do its effect multiple times.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing that could actually hit this deck somewhat, or cards with continuous effects like Thunder King.
Yeah.
It stops down on a search power, and this thing just locks Thunder King down.
Just those continuous effects instead of the if that trigger.
Yeah.
Like King Tiger or whatnot.
Yeah. And and it's usually the continuous effects that hurt this deck a lot more.
Okay.
I run Magatama.
One, not two?
No, you need to control a face-up samurai on the field, and even that is Stardust. It doesn't really negate like a Monster Reborn or anything like that.
Would you play Starlight Road over Magatama because of the field presence with Heavy Storm?
I probably wouldn't, because the only difference is that Magatama is actually better because of the fact that it's a spell speed 3. It's a counter trap. So
yeah.
To where I could just take, a different like Shein and say negate. You actually need another counter trap to go against this.
Or you can play Huge Revolution is over. That's an idea.
Or another thing is that Starlight Road requires you to destroy requires 2 cards to be destroyed. This thing just requires any number.
Just destroy.
Yeah, it's just any number. And then the Solemn Brigade, and that's staple.
All those traps.
Yeah.
It's just negation.
Yeah. Extra deck. 1 Chimera.
For the Cyber Dragon, I guess.
I side deck Cybers.
Machina.
Yeah. 1 MX Saber Invoker. The only reason why I run him is because if you're doing a spam loop and stuff, and you start running low on monsters, he can get keys on, and that's the only thing he can get. I barely go into him. And right now I don't have a Zen mains, but the second I get a Zen mains, it's just going out for it. So yes, I will switch that out.
Well, that's just more spam and consistent. Zen mains makes it more consistent. Yeah. So
110 tempo. Everyone overlooks this card. This thing pretty much tells Zen mains to screw off.
Well, it's either that and it has to go him too. It's just force him to detach again.
It's just
Then he lose.
He detaches during either player's turn, and then on top of that, he gains a 500 buff. So you can just be like, when your opponent summons Zen mains, you go detach, they automatically detach. It goes to your turn, you go detach, and then just run over the Zen mains.
Yeah, so it's a little easier.
Yeah. 1 Leviathan, 1 Acid Golem. Now I got a bunch of people that's probably going to have question marks over this.
Because you can't special summon, which is supposed to be your job.
Yeah. The only time when you really want to bring this out is during the end of the game when you know you're pretty much going to either win or...
having an out.
Yeah.
BLS.
That's the only... Yeah.
BLS out.
1 Photon Butterfly Assassin. This thing gets around freaking Spirit Reaper, which, I know...
you hate.
Well, all Samurai players can vouch for this. When they're sitting there and get spam, like, yeah, I'm going to OTK, attack. Your opponent has Spirit Reaper. There's nothing you can really do about it.
That's not fun.
1 Utopia. 1 Shadow. I don't know why people want more than 2. Because majority of the time, all the samurais that you're spamming just pump up past 2,000, and he can only grant a monster 2,000 attack.
Yeah, so, sometimes you can just play that one monster kick. Well, yeah, it works for the Kigeki, though. So it makes it 37, if I'm right?
No, the attack becomes 2,000, if I remember correct.
Well, no, and also Kigeki gains 1,500. Too.
Yeah, well, it's still a 17 though, and this just gives it the extra 300 boost. 1 Shein, which is self-explanatory.
Yeah.
1 Beast and 1 Barkion, also self-explanatory.
Well, it's like negation. You have to keep your field. That's what you rely on.
Yeah. 1 Catastor, just to get around like agents or whatever, anything that's not dark that's stopping you.
Heretic, all that whatnot.
Yeah. 1 Brio, which I'm sad face that's
it's gonna get banned. So what would you replace for it? Another Barkion?
It's either gonna I wouldn't replace it for another Barkion.
Guy Knight?
It's either gonna be a Guy Knight, an Iron Chain Dragon, or Orient Dragon. I'm gonna wait a week till after the format comes out and see what people play before I do anything.
Okay, so
because if people are still doing like synchro stuff, I could be like, all right, Orient Dragon to get rid of their synchros, or I can go Iron Chain.
Well, would you be scared because Iron Chain mills your opponent's stuff? Which
it depends on the deck they're playing. I mean, obviously, if they're playing a deck that requires stuff being based off the graveyard, I'm sure so I'm not gonna Iron Chain them.
Well, just in general, like Dark World Heroes, Heretic.
I'd probably put in Gaia Knight just because he could be a 26 beater.
Gets over stuff.
Yeah. 1 Black Rose, which
the field. Get that Tri-Petty decks.
And then 1 Stardust.
Obviously, it's just for that random out.
Yeah, you can sync for level 8 too.
Sometimes it happens, so.
All right, side deck, one system down.
Yeah, it's just for machine.
Machinas and gears, gear Gaia.
Because I mean, like your scariest matchup is probably Machina, right? Because you summon Fortress, Suicide, then destroy something else in addition.
Yeah. Forbidden Chalice, 2 of them. This thing is pretty much also. This is pretty much my effect veiler. Just think of it as an effect veiler.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I traded my veilers off so I can get a whole bunch more stuff that I value that's valued at more. Because I think I'm predicting veilers will get not as well looked at anymore.
Yeah.
Because of the side deck and Dark World heroes and all that.
But these are pretty much the veilers. These things hit all the, when this card is normal summon, this card pretty much hits all that.
Plus that you can play Forbidden Lance and Damage Step, so you can just negate or have Chi at 29, get over Red Ice Darkness Metal.
Oh no, that's what the Spirit's for.
That's true.
Alright, Damage Diet.
Ooh, now this is a question mark.
It is. I run this because with Samurais, it's one of those decks where if your opponent gets rid of your field after you got done spamming, you're sort of top decking. This thing helps you prevent from OTKing. It also helps you from chain burn because down here at our locals, people run chain burn off and on.
Yeah, it's just
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
That be.
And this thing has all of the battle damage, and then if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to reduce half the effect damage. And this is also good because Magic Cylinder is going up to 3.
Yeah, it's very anticipant, so I think it works.
Yeah. 2 Light Imprisoning Mirrors.
Okay, why Imprisoning Mirrors?
Because another bad matchup against this deck is Fairies or Agents. And also, this thing hits Heretics, hits Chaos Dragon where it hurts the most.
With Earth going to 2, do you think this might be a good boost or a call?
I've always had these in for the longest time because everyone has a Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors.
Or for Light Sworns.
Yeah. But this thing shuts down like all the major decks and stuff. Like with the Chaos Dragon, it shuts down the Light Sworn engine. It shuts down Heretics completely. It shuts down Agents completely.
Sounds like it worked.
With the next format though, when the sector's getting hit hard.
So Shadow Imprisoning Mirror is not very useful.
It's not gonna be it's only against like Dark Worlds, but even then, 2 Rivalry Warlords.
Obviously, it came in the structure deck. Might as well just play it.
Well, yeah.
Side deck plus this.
Yeah, well, these things have windups to screw off too.
Yeah.
2 DD Crows.
DT.
Yeah, dual terminal. It's pretty much self-explanatory.
Would you main it if you could?
No. DD Crow doesn't really fit much with the Samurai.
It could be a good target, probably.
It's pretty much dependent on what you go against, because sometimes you might want it, other times you don't. Other times, but majority of the time, it just really doesn't matter. 2 Kinetic Soldiers.
Mirror match, right?
Mirror match and Heroes.
That's gonna be pretty important because
not as many people are gonna be running. Well, Heroes. I mean, they got their Esquerado, so Super Poly is pretty much gonna be ran.
Well, it's gonna be Earth, so mix Gaia for Super Poly.
Yeah, it's gonna force them to bring out Gaia, and it's like I know that majority of the time they don't want to bring out Gaia. Other than that, though, this thing is just pretty much run them.
Makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then
Jimmy's Russell.
Yeah. And then the 2 Cyber Dragons for the Chimera Tech and for the Machine matchup.
Also good side for windups, I guess, if you're in a situation.
I never sided these against windups because the only thing that really hits is their exceeds.
Yeah,
but the only time when they keep an exceed is Zen mains, which like I said, with Samurais they can just go like blow up.
Yeah, and also probably be good for Heroes as well because they force out their Bomblesses or Solemn Warnings.
Yeah,
because they can't get over it.
They won't be able to get over it. Yeah.
All right, guys. This is the deck. What's your YouTube channel?
I had to get it reset because someone hacked into mine and deleted all this stuff. It's gonna be Cybernetic Ally.
Okay, so you're gonna have to message me, and I'll just put a link in the description below. So
yeah,
comment, rate, subscribe. Peace, guys.